Each year, the Mosaic Youth Theater of Detroit brings together talented actors and singers from more than 50 local schools. Some of Mosaic's alumni have garnered Tony, Emmy, and Grammy nominations. This spring, the Public Theater in New York chose Mosaic as the first group in the country to produce a new musical adaptation of Shakespeare's The Tempest. Let's take a look as lead actor Duane Smith gives us some insight to the performance.
My name is Duane Smith, and I'm playing Prospero in The Tempest. Well, I wake up at 6:30, get ready for school. I'm ready to leave out the house at 7:30. My grandma take me to school. I go to DSA, Detroit School of Arts. I get out of school at 3:25, but I leave at 4:30 to get to Mosaic rehearsal early. Then I'm at Mosaic rehearsals from 6 to 9, and it takes me about 30 minutes to get home, so I'm at home by 9:30, 9:35.
I believe it's worth it to myself and to Duane to drive him to school for 30 to 35 minutes because he's getting the education that he needs, but he's also getting it while pursuing something that he would like to build a future on. Just like he's going to DSA, and yeah, he wants to be an actor. But I'm also thinking that these are skills that he'll be able to use in another way of life. Not just anybody gets accepted at Detroit School of the Arts. Not just anybody is accepted at Mosaic. And he knows that if he doesn't keep up his grades, if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, then he will not be able to participate with and attend either schools.
One big thing that Mosaic changed about me is how responsible I am, because they expect so much of you. And when they expect so much of you, it makes you like, oh, I gotta get it together. You gotta get it done. You gotta do the work, like what Courtney says.
One of the things that I really have lost that we had when we were blocking was your connection to the staff. Yes, the staff. So the communication that happens between the staff and you guys has to be there, or we don't believe it. So what are the lines? Can we go back to the lines? I'm still saying this. You look like a bunny rabbit, okay? Give me this, if you know what I mean. Give me this, but don't give me this. Okay.
Well, I think most of us have experience where we feel as if we've been wronged in some way. And so that concept of revenge, that concept of getting your revenge on people who have done you wrong, I think is something that many of us have experienced, many of the young artists in this company have experienced.
Has now performed my aerial, a grace it had devoured. My high tones working these, mine enemies are haunted up in their distractions. Then now, in my power!
Also, there's a lot of power differentials, and we certainly have, most of us have felt either very powerful or very powerless. And so examining the dynamics in those relationships and the power dynamics is something that the young artists can connect to.
How now? Moody, what is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more!
Now, hold on a sec. I've done a lot of good work for you, and I made like 0 mistakes, and I never complain, and you did promise that you would release me.
There's also a story of young lovers, and I'm working with teenagers, so that feeling of being head over heels in love after meeting someone for about 4 minutes is something that many of them are familiar with.
They tell me I'm human, which means I'm no God. And like every human, I'm hopeful and flawed. You must be divine. You must be a dream. It must be the wine. Or are you what you see?
Shakespeare is really difficult to grasp and to understand and get other people to understand.
There's something about Shakespeare which is, for young people, a lot of young people, you know, the most difficult thing. It's the hardest thing. It's the thing that they see as the most distant from themselves, the most complicated, the most boring, the thing that sometimes can make them feel inadequate because they don't understand it. And then to tackle that and get to the other end where you are, where you're living it, where you're making an audience experience it, where you fully understand every word that you're saying. I really think that for someone like Duane and for many of our young people, that's a transformational thing. Where is the beat change? You know, I don't see, I just see red here. I don't see you marking where the full stops are.
This script is too clean.
That's way too clean for somebody working.
I usually just mark it mentally.
No, boo. Pencil, not pen. Great art isn't telling somebody else's story. It's telling the connection that you have as a human being to this, and to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I mean, people talk about theater as a tremendous thing for teaching empathy. Not sympathy, empathy. You know, it's you are in their shoes. Have you had major changes in your life where you've changed?
Personally or Prospero?
Personally. You, yeah. Duane, not you, Prospero.
Yeah, I have. I got to just break. I just got to tell you the whole story. It was one night where me and my brother, my older brother, Duane, we was in a stolen car and we got into. It wasn't like a high-speed police chase. It was just a little police chase, and we crashed into the car, and into a car and that was in our neighborhood. It was like a complex, and I remember he said, "Get out and run." It's funny to me now, but it wasn't funny to me then. He said, "Get out and run." He got out and ran. I was still in the car. And I had got out, and I seen a police officer holding a gun at me. And then after that night, I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to be in that type of situation.
So I directed the original production of this new musical adaptation of The Tempest in New York in 2013 in Central Park. It was a production of the Public Theater. So when we were thinking about where in the country the first production outside of New York should happen, we were so excited about the thought of collaborating with Mosaic Youth Theatre here in Detroit. And that's really because I think this company is a beacon in the national landscape. The quality of the work that these young people are doing just honestly astounded us, and we wanted to be part of it, and we felt like it was the perfect home for The Tempest.
Flesh and blood, you brother mine that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature. I do forgive thee.
You guys are now part of a club that has gone back for over 400 years. This play has been performed all over the world, thousands and thousands of times, and it's now yours. You own it. You're now one of the group of people who have been telling this story, and by telling this story to each other, have been actually making up civilization. That's what culture is. This story told over. And you take it, and now it's yours. Then keep in mind that big story of the guy eaten up by anger who decides to let go of it. And how, I don't know what your life is like, but it's really hard to do that when you have been wronged as badly as this guy has been wronged, to actually forgive and let go and give up your power. That's not easy.
As you from crimes with pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
I just saw a run-through of The Tempest, and I thought Duane delivered a beautiful performance as Prospero. He's commanding, he's powerful, he's very expressive. He uses the language beautifully, and it was just, I thought, a great performance.
The first time I saw him in the lead of a play, and the passion, knowing that I had listened to him read those lines, but never heard a response, but actually hearing the other characters as they responded to him and how passionate he got, and the faces on some of the audience members, watching them and how they were like just taken aback that he would be so passionate, that he actually kind of brought them into that world. To me, that's my proudest moment.